From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, December the 4th, 2024. The IDF shared for publication today that the remains of a slain hostage were recovered from Gaza in a special operation by Israel's security agency, the Shin Bet, with the assistance of the IDF, saying the body of 38-year-old hostage Itai Seversky, whose death the IDF confirmed back in January of this year, was brought from the Gaza Strip for burial in Israel. The IDF saying Itai, a member of Kibbutz Be'eri, was kidnapped by the terrorist organization Hamas on October the 7th, murdered in captivity by Hamas, his body kept in the Gaza Strip. Seversky was visiting his parents, Orit and Rafi, who were murdered during the massacre. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu shared his condolences with the family and said, "We will continue to act resolutely and tirelessly to recover all our abductees, both the living and the dead." The IDF today also presented the findings of its investigation into the deaths of 6 hostages killed earlier this year to their families. The remains of Nadav Popplewell, Yoram Metzger, Abraham Munder, Chaim Perry, Yagev Buchstav, and Alex Danzig were recovered in an IDF operation in August from an underground Hamas terror tunnel. The IDF also sharing footage from that tunnel today. They are believed to have been killed in February amid Israeli airstrikes in the nearby area. The investigation said, according to the most plausible scenario, the terrorists shot the hostages close to the time of the airstrike. However, it is also possible that the hostages were shot by other terrorists post-mortem. It is even possible that the hostages were killed prior to the strike in the area, saying at the time of the strike, the IDF had no information, not even a suspicion, that the hostages were in the underground compound or its vicinity. Had such information been available, the strike would not have been carried out. IDF Chief of Staff Major General Herzi Halevi saying the mission of returning the hostages alive accompanies us at every moment. We have made significant achievements, but it is small so long as there are other hostages. Also saying in the context of combat, we have also made mistakes. We are not able to bring these hostages home alive. It is important for the families of the hostages and the entire public to know that thousands of soldiers and commanders are working to succeed and avoid mistakes in this critical mission. The IDF shares in the grief of the families for their profound loss and continues in its efforts to fulfill the paramount national mission of bringing all of the hostages home. The U.S. House of Representatives held a memorial yesterday for slain American-Israeli hostage Omer Neutra, thought to have been a live hostage, but who was murdered battling Hamas during the October 7th massacre, his body still held captive by the terror group. Members of Congress from both sides of the aisle stood as one to remember. Here's New York Congressman Mike Lawler.
Today, we New Yorkers rise with a heavy heart to honor the memory of Omer Neutra, a 21-year-old from Plainview, New York. A grandson of Holocaust survivors, Omer deferred his enrollment at SUNY Binghamton to serve in the Israeli Defense Forces, driven by a profound sense of duty and a dream of building peace in the Middle East. On October 7, 2023, Omer, serving as a tank commander, was among the first to respond to Hamas's brutal attack, risking his life to protect others. Tragically, as we learned this weekend, his life was taken during this horrific massacre. We all joined together in mourning a young man of extraordinary courage and conviction.
Israel today pushed back against claims, including from the United Nations, that humanitarian aid to Gaza is being blocked. IDF International spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Nadav Shoshani shared video of aid waiting to be distributed by international organizations and pointed to a decision by UNRWA, the UN body, who said they were pausing aid distribution because of looting by armed gangs in Gaza. And COGAT, the IDF's coordination of government activities in the territories, shared that 33 patients, most of whom are children, they said, and their caregivers departed today from Gaza for medical treatment in Romania, Spain, and Belgium. The group left Gaza, it said, through the Kerem Shalom crossing and the Ramon International Airport. The operation to facilitate the patient's departure was initiated, it said, by the European Union, managed by COGAT, and in collaboration with the respective countries, marking a first-time cooperation with Spain and Belgium. U.S. Special Envoy for Combating Antisemitism, Ambassador Deborah Lipstadt, left yesterday for the Middle East. The State Department said Lipstadt will be in Egypt, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates through December the 14th, and that she will meet with governmental and civil society interlocutors to discuss ongoing and future efforts to promote interfaith understanding and religious tolerance and to counter anti-Semitism, saying she will also discuss initiatives to highlight Jewish heritage and history throughout the region and take part in the International Institute for Strategic Studies annual Manama Dialogue in Bahrain on December the 7th and the 8th. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS. For Wednesday, December the 4th at 7 o'clock, David Harris speaks to Asher Katz, Youth Movement Director of the Moises Safra Center. At 7:30, Israel's President Isaac Herzog addresses the Jewish Federation of North America's General Assembly. At 8, Robert Siegel talks about the nationwide and global impact of conspiracy theories with panelists Jesselyn Cook, David Rand, and Nancy Rosenblum. At 9, it's Danny Ayalon on L'chaim. At 10:30, an encore of the news. And coming up next, it's Thinking Out Loud. And that's the JBS News Update for Wednesday, December the 4th, 2024. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.